And don't worry, I have plenty to say on that. But here's my question. Why did his ship crash? I guess Singer just thought it'd be an interesting way to introduce Superman by having him pass out in his mother's arms like a total wussbag. Hey, where's my tough, strong man of steel who punches Darkseid so hard that he goes through multiple buildings?
How powerful I really am.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, but instead we get this. In the following scene, they elaborate on the 5 pieces of dialogue we got at the film. Evidently, after we defeated Zod and his cohorts, astronomers thought they found the remains of Krypton. This leads Superman with the decision to abandon Earth and go out for 5 whole years to see if he can find anything left, or perhaps anyone left. So, did he find the remaining shrunken city of Kandor? Or possibly that Brainiac shrunk the city down and he has to go out and rescue them? Nope! So he went on a mission for 5 years that was completely pointless. Why did they do this? Well, so Superman can be a depressed, lovesick puppy that does nothing but sit around and mope for 2 freaking hours. God!
Clark, the universe is a big place. You don't know who's out there. And even if you are the last, you're not alone.
What was it that Jor-El said in the original?
You will not be alone. You will never be alone.
You know, when I first heard this not being alone thing, I thought maybe they were going to bring in Martian Manhunter to mentor him, thus serving to introduce him and us to a much wider DC universe. But the film had much lamer plans in mind and was content to keep Superman restricted to old, tired stereotypes, rather than opening up and introducing something beautiful to us. Gee, it's a good idea they didn't go with that, because that idea would never work. Oh wait, it did work for the DC animated universe. Yeah, good job, Singer. Real good job, mate. Now let's talk about the story point of Superman abandoning Earth for 5 years to go in search for Krypton. There's really 4 main reasons why this is out of character for him and just something that he would not do.
Lois? You never lie.
Number 1. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I know. That's Spider-Man's line, but it fits the scenario perfectly. And am I the only one who thinks that's a really stupid line for Spider-Man to have? Because with someone like Superman, he does have great power, but all Spider-Man does is shoot webs at people. How the heck is that even great power? But I digress. Superman 2 dealt with Superman giving up his powers to live a normal life with Lois Lane, but in doing so, the Earth fell into the clutches of General Zod.
Oh, God. Zod.
In fact, the very last thing he says at the end of that movie is this.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Sorry I've been away so long. I won't let you down again.
And remember, Superman Returns is supposed to be a direct sequel to this. This is supposed to be the same Superman as this. So are we to believe that after everything he learned in Superman 2, and after he promised that he would not disappear again, that he would just turn around and take off for 5 years? Superman would not do that. Superman takes his responsibilities seriously. Number 2, Kryptonite, damn it! You would think that Superman of all people would know that Kryptonite can kill him. So if astronomers had found the remains of Krypton, that stuff is going to be all over the place. Even if his ship was built out of solid lead, which it doesn't look like it is, by the way, he would still be affected by it, especially if he's going through an entire planet load of the stuff. In fact, in one comic, Superman did return to where Krypton used to be, and he blacked out before he even made it to the center point of the sun. Hell, he was even wearing a lead-lined spacesuit and it still affected him. If Singer had bothered to do any research at all, he would know that. In fact, in that comic, The radiation caused Clark to start hallucinating, and he envisioned a whole new history of Krypton and Earth, which, well, leads me to one very big point. Number 3, Kryptonian supremacy. In that same issue, as Clark is hallucinating, he envisions a whole new history of Krypton and Earth where the Council listened to Jor-El's warnings and they all fled the planet before it exploded. The result of this has millions of Kryptonians on Earth rather than just one, and they all have the exact same powers that Superman does. Over time, the Kryptonians become dictators that enslave the human race. So the precedent has been set in the comics as well as in the previous movies that any Kryptonians coming to Earth are not going to treat it with the exact same respect that Superman does. We saw that directly in the previous movie. So with that knowledge, finding survivors is probably not the smartest idea. Ay, come on, guys, that's just so stupid, Number 4, Man of Tomorrow? Yeah, Superman has a lot of different aliases. Clark Kent, Kal-El, Last Son of Krypton, etc., etc. But one of his titles is the Man of Tomorrow. And this is not just due to his proactive lifestyle, but his forward thinking. It is often joked in the comic books that Superman doesn't stay in one place for very long. He rescues someone, then he goes off to rescue someone else. So, heck, and he's a man of action. And that's one of the things that Jor-El taught him, is to look forward to the future, not to live in the past. And with that, he wouldn't be so obsessed with discovering his former world that he would abandon his current one, leaving it undefended for such a long period of time. In fact, in the comic that I just mentioned, well, the journey did not take him 5 years, and he made sure that the Justice League was on Earth to defend it while he was away. This Superman didn't take any of that into consideration. He just took off without thinking about how it would affect anyone else. And not only is that's not the Man of Tomorrow, that's the Man of Yesterday. And this isn't just limited to his return to Krypton, it's really a problem throughout the entire film. Because Superman discovers, oh yeah, Lois Lane has moved on to a new man. So rather than moving on himself, and which is what I would do, he tries to go back and rekindle the spark that they used to have. This is just so contrary to Superman's thinking. So just as midichlorians ruined the mythology of the Force, this storyline ruins what makes Superman so special to people.